And now we'll finish the setup of our character sets, double check our scene a little bit, and then call our character rig complete. Now that we have our character sets made, it's just a matter of selecting our controls and applying them to their correct group. So since we have lower body already selected, we can go ahead and select as follows, and we can even reference our character as well as the assets, just so we don't accidentally select anything we don't want to add. So we can select our feet, both of them, since we've given them like names. We'll select all of their keyable attributes. Okay. I won't add mode because that's not necessarily something that you probably want to key, but you can if you like, but I'm not going to leave that out. We go up to character, tear off our menu, and simply with that selected, just hit add to set. So now they're all added to that set. And we can move on to our knees. Okay, selecting those, hit add to set. Everything for the lower body, so that's going to end with our hips. Hit G to repeat the last tool. Alright, now that that's done, let's move on to our upper body. Let's say we move on to that, and we can use this character set selector to quickly do that. So that's going to be our hands. We'll make sure we get both of those selected. Make sure our translate to rotate, as well as you can add the follow if you'd like, but I think everything else would be fine left out. So we just simply hit add to set. Okay, what else is that going to be? Well, that's going to be our back control. We're going to want to add that, so we'll select it. Select our translate to rotate, hit G. Select our chest, that's already selected, so we can just hit G. And we don't want to leave out our upper body control, so we'll hit G. Great. Let's see what else. How about our elbows? We don't want to leave that out of the equation, so we'll select those. Hit G. We'll want to select the head as well. Hit G. And let's see. We have one for the face, so we don't need to add that. We have one for the eyes for the hat. Great. So that looks to be it. We can move on to our hat now. Switching to that, selecting the hat, and just simply hit G. Great. Now that leaves us to our flashlight. We'll select that. Go to the flashlight control. Those should already be selected, and we could also control click our clip, okay, to make sure that that's added, and hit G. Great. And let's see. That brings us now to our fingers. Okay. We'll add that. Go ahead and add them. Okay. Once all of these things are added, making sure both of them are selected, so we can just add those. Hit G. Okay. So now that that's done, that leads us to our eyes. We'll select our eye control. Select the attributes. Hit G. And make sure we don't forget these little guys in here. G. Alright. Now for the main node, what I like to do for that is go ahead and just leave it, since that's just a main node, it's almost like a group, if you will, so we can leave that. We don't want to forget our face, so make sure we select that, select the control that we made for the face, and any other controls you may add, you just simply select that attribute and hit G. Now, is there something we are forgetting for our sets? Well, if you recall, we did make a control for our keys. So we're not going to want to leave those out as well. That's why we want to make sure we double check everything to assure that that nothing is missed. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on that for our keys. And I do want to also note that you may want to bring the keys, the control that is, out of the character set or the character layer, so that you'll be able to select them. But let's go ahead and make another button of our window for our keys, and we'll just do some minor fixes to set that up. We can first start by making the button. We can go to our window, just copy our separator followed by our lower body, paste, and then just switch a few things here. So that's our keys. We can call the command keys, and then our label keys node. Okay, now that that's done, we can close out the window if we like. Didn't need to, but simply just hit Control Enter, and there it is. So from here, since we have that, let's go ahead and with everything still selected, just add that right there to our shelf. We'll go ahead and throw out the other one, just holding the simply holding our CC or basically the button that we've made. And if you have a wide enough window, you can get to the trash can. That would be right to the shelf. But if you can't get to that, we'll just go ahead and take another route. We'll go to our shelf. We'll go to the line just above that and say delete item. Now the line right under that for our actual set, we'll call that CSS again, just to update that. Then we'll go ahead and make a procedure. So we'll go right to the bottom, copy our last line, and paste. Then we want to label everything correctly. So that's going to be keys, and that's going to be WM and keys as well. So now we'll go ahead and run this procedure again. Control Enter. Okay, we can close out our script editor, go back to our window, and now when we select that, we should, if we've already made our character set for it, be able to get to the keys. Let's go ahead and even make that set. So we can just quickly go to our main set, go ahead and go to characters and go to sub character set, and just simply call that keys. So again, this is a great reason why we want to go ahead and double check our scene rather than just calling it done, because you never know what you're going to leave behind. But now when we select keys, notice we'll get right to it. So now we'll select our keys, select our attributes, select our custom attributes that we've made for it, and just simply go to add to set. Great. So now that all of those have been done, we have our window made. Can go ahead and close it out now. That's working fine. Of course, we can go back to our outliner now and just double check to make sure everything is moving right. Really just what we need to do is move around our main nodes that move our entire character to just make sure everything's following right. We'll go to our scale and make sure that's moving correctly as well. Great, everything's scaling uniformly. Wonderful, and we can scale them down too to test that out. Make them really small. Even go to his controls if we like and move those around to see how that's moving. Great. Wonderful. Well, now that that's done, again, you can go through the rig again and just double check to make sure that you've set everything up correctly. But now that we have our window and everything made for our character sets, we can turn them on, we can turn them off. That finishes our rig. And of course, if you wanted to clean up the scene even more, you can go ahead and select the center of gravity, turn off the switch, okay, to show our volume control. And then what I'd also like to do, okay, if you wanted to, that is, make an annotation. That's simply just selecting the control, going ahead and going to create, and making an annotation that tells you what else comes along with this control. So you can say our vol control, and this is just helpful for the animator. So now notice you have a locator that tells you exactly where this object, basically what this object also has along with it. And then you can hide your locators if you don't want to see those, just to make the view more presentable. Great, so they'll see volume control, they'll be like, what's that? Select the control, turn that on, and be able to animate and adjust the volume as needed. So again, that is the setup of our character. And I do recommend just going through and becoming comfortable with those topics that we did discuss, like the squash and stretch, the stretchy legs, making sure everything will scale uniform, just to make sure you have that all absorbed. And I did enjoy the time that you spent going through this training with me, and I hope you did the same. Well, take care, and I'll see you around.